So we have some mini pierogies we made with some Bothwell cheese and some Canadian lobster tails. So we have some water on to cook our pierogies. We're going to crack and get the lobster tails pretty much ready to go, and we're going to saute them in a pan. Very important not to cut them when they're frozen, right? Make sure they're defrosted. Put your knife in until the cutting board's straight down. Your hand positioned just like this, and straight down, nice and slow till you're all the way through. And then, of course, not cutting through your fingers. Turn the tail around and finish cutting through, and then it's ready to go. So, of course, what we're going to do next, we're going to pull that meat out because we're going to cook it in that hot frying pan right behind us.
Okay.
Steve? Chop up a little bit of leek here to go in that frying pan. Sorry, Steve.
Oh, no, go ahead, guys. It's good. I was having fun here.
All right. So in this dish here, we want to make sure that we turn our temperature down because we don't want any color on these leeks. We want to do sweating where we don't caramelize the sugars. Sounds technical, but it's fairly simple. Oh. Turn it down to number 2, guys. So we're just putting my thumb underneath the tail meat here. We're just going to slide the meat out because we're not going to use the shell in this dish. So just put your thumb underneath the meat. Pop the tail piece out just like this here. And again, this is all something that you're going to do and could be done even the day before, right? So there's the color that we're looking for, right? They're softened up a little bit, but there's not a lot of color on them, so we're just going to turn them down on low now, let them finish up. By the time I'm finished cleaning up these tails, it'll be ready to go. We want to leave these pieces of lobster fairly large so that people can really, sink their teeth into it. We want to chop it down so it gets lost in this dish. So now that we see that the leeks are sweated down and ready to go, we're going to add just a little bit of that white wine that we're using, right? Because we're going to finish this dish off with a little bit of butter. So just a little bit of wine, right? Want a lot. We are going to use a little bit of cream in this recipe too. That doesn't hurt anyone. We're going to take the pierogies. They only take a couple minutes to cook. We'll pop them in the water here. So we're just going to put the lobster back on the fire, turn it up a little bit. In about 2 minutes, those pierogies will be ready to go, and we'll be off to the races.
How much yum yum fat are we putting in there? It's my turn.
We'd probably be putting in about a tablespoon. I put about 2 ounces of cream in because really we just want it to come together. We don't want to, kill it.
No, I do. Because you know why? When people eat lobster with lobster, what do they put it in? They put it in butter, yeah, right?
They sure do.
So yeah, I'm putting in butter, and we're actually going to probably stew it in the butter. And if the fat breaks, if the cream breaks, we're just gonna have to add a bit more.
It'll be fine.
But I think it's gonna be very nice. A nice soft poach to finish off those lobster tails.
A minute ago, I took the lobster off the fire twice, and that was very important that we didn't overcook it. Because if you overcook your shrimp and lobster, they get really tough. So this butter is just going to slowly melt in here. But what we don't do now is we don't add any citrus. No lemon juice, nothing like that, because it definitely will split the cream. So we have a little bit of black pepper.
Wow.
We have the capers, and we have a little bit of some whitefish roe to put on top. Yeah, I'm just straining off the pierogies, going to pop them in the dish here.
Now, when I first moved back to Manitoba, a little bit younger in my life,
pierogies was new to me. Pierogies for an appetizer, easy event.
Who's ever seen lobster with pierogies?
No one, Steve.
That's why we're the easy chefs at home, because everybody can do these things, right?
Yep. And the capers you said I had to have in there.
I did say you had to have capers in there, because you know what? Now all of a sudden it's not just easy, but it's classic.
There's the roe. There's the green chef.
I want some red now. I need some red. Wow, what a dish.
And we chop a little bit up for a little bit of flavor. We use some of the 2-year-old cheddar inside these pierogies from Bothwell, and there you have it, lobster pierogies. Woo! Awesome.